ladies, it's Kara from mystampin.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to show you this really fun technique that I used on this card. I wanted to show you how I've mitered the corners of the washi tape. So what I've done here, this is just a whisper white panel, and I've used the Lotus Blossom stamp set. And then if you aren't familiar with the Lotus Blossom stamp set, you can find that in our celebration catalog, which runs through the end of this month. So we're getting down to the end of celebration. But if you head on over to page 7, you'll see this is one of the free stamp sets that you can earn if you spend $50 or more. And then what I've done is I've outlined it in this black and white diagonal stripe washi tape. And that washi tape is actually the Stacked with Love designer washi tape that's in our occasions catalog, and that's on page 5. So it comes with these 3 rolls of washi tape, and so I'm using the black and white diagonal. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you how I used just a craft knife and a ruler, and that I've cut off the top layer just to give it a more clean, mitered look. If you don't do it, it looks like this. So you can see this is a mistake, but on the back side you can see how the washi tape overlaps on all 4 corners. But when you turn it over, it just gives it. It's not perfect. I haven't perfected this yet, but I did want to just show you how I do this, and if you want to give it a shot, I just think this is a nice little accent to the card. All right, so let's get started. So what I've done is I've cut down a whisper white panel, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And what I'm doing is I'm going to stamp the Lotus Blossom stamp set, and I don't know if you've seen how this works, but it's a 3-step stamp, which is really nice, which gives it that dimension. But I'm going to be using Pink Pirouette and Strawberry Slush. So those are the 2 colors. And then the stem, I'm choosing, I chose Old Olive, and then this is black. So here's the 3 colors. And there's a couple of different ways that you can stamp the Lotus Blossom. You can either go from light to dark or from dark to light. I prefer the light to dark. So I'm going to start with the, and as you can see, the stamp is photopolymer, and you see that the different petals are listed 1, 2, and 3. And it has this little notch here which helps you line up the stamp. So you want to be aware of where your little notch is on your block and make sure you line that up. But I'm going to be starting with the 3rd stamp, the solid image, and I'm going to be inking that up in Pink Pirouette. Okay, and if you're familiar with my videos, and you know that when we work with photopolymer, it's nice to have the Stampin' Pierce mat. So I'm just placing that down under my cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy what I did here. So I've got the flower up here on the right side. So here's my notch. So I'm just going to remember that's where I have it, and then that's where I'll put my other stamps. So I'm just going to place down, push down, and then that's the impression that we get. And then let me get the next stamp. So next we're going to go with number 2. And if you do kind of get confused as to where your notch is, you can place it on top of the flower, and because they're photopolymer, you can see through. Okay, so the second stamp we're going to be inking up in Strawberry Slush, and I'm actually going to stamp off before I stamp onto the cardstock. So I'm just going to stamp off once on my scratch paper, and then I'm going to line it up, press down. Okay. And as you can see, mine's off just a little bit, but that's okay. That's the nice thing about the stamps, is that if it's off, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops, I need this again. Okay, so I'm going to keep out my strawberry slush, and I'm going to get the last petal. And again, if you just want to make sure you're doing this correctly, you can place the stamp on top of your already stamped images and then pick it up from there. Okay, so this is the last. Now I'm not stamping off. So that's going to give you the final look. Such a fun stamp set. All right, so from now I'm going to get the petal, and there's two choices. I'm doing the more sketched look petal, not the solid one. So the way I do it, the easiest way I found, is just to lay it on the cardstock. And kind of place it how I want the stem to lay, and then from there I'm going to pick it up on my block. And because it's going to hang off a little, let me just get a scrap piece of paper and just put it down right there. And then just go ahead and ink it up, and I chose Old Olive. Okay, and there you have it. So now you've got the stem. All right, so the last thing we need to do is stamp the thank you. And I am choosing to do that in black ink, which ties in with the washi tape. And I will be using the Memento Tuxedo black ink. So I've got that lined up here on my grid mat. I like to use the lines as reference to make sure I get it straight, and then I pick it up from there. Then I'll just bring it back over, ink it up. And let's see, so I did it kind of down here towards the bottom of the stem. And just go straight down. All right. So that's going to be, now that you could just stop right there and just put this panel on top of a note card. That's what I did. I cut this down just a 1/4 inch smaller than our note card and envelope, and you could do that and be done with it. But I wanted to do something just a little bit more, kind of like I said, tie in the black from the thank you. So here I've got my washi tape, and what I do is I just, just kind of gauge. So just tear off about right here. And what I do is I put my card straight on the grid mat, and I use the lines, and I'm going down 1/4 inch. So I try to line up the washi tape on either side, and then from here you're just gonna curl it over. And if for any reason, if it needs to be adjusted, the washi tape's really forgiving. Okay, so I'm going to do that on all the rest of the 3 sides. What I do is I go ahead and cut. Use my scissors or snips, and just go ahead and cut off the tape that's hanging over. Just make sure you get a clean cut. Okay, so you're going to do that. Whoops, sorry. So just get a clean cut on both sides. Hopefully I wasn't off camera. So go ahead and do the washi tape on the rest of the 3 sides, and then I'll be back to show you how to get that clean mitered corner. Okay, so when you're all done and you've wrapped the washi tape around all 4 corners, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, and like I said, you can leave it like that, but I just want more of a finished edge on those 4 corners. So what I have what I do is I have a ruler with I like to use the one that has kind of a steel edge, and then I've just got this craft knife. So you want to be really careful when you're using your craft knife, okay? Because it's or your X-Acto blade or whatever. All right, so the easiest thing that I have found to do, and I work upside down, it kind of helps me. So what I do is I just place the ruler at a diagonal on the corner that I'm going to be working on, and I'll get closer so you can see this. So what I've done is I've lined up the ruler from the point here in the inside corner to the outside corner, and hopefully I can do this. I'm trying to do this without getting my head in the video. All right, and so then I'm just going to lightly press the X-Acto knife, the blade, on the washi tape, the first layer, and that's all I'm wanting to do is I'm just wanting to remove just that top layer. And I go back a few times, go across, you know, at least 6 times at the total. And then when I think it's done, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the craft knife, the blade, and just pick up that corner. And then there is a clean mitered corner. And then you just repeat that on all 4 corners. And so here is the finished card. So what I did is I went ahead and mitered the other 4 corners, and I popped it up on dimensionals onto our note card and matching envelope that is a set. And then what I did is I just went ahead and stamped on the inside of the card to finish it off, as well as on the envelope. And then I went ahead and used some designer series paper. This is the Painted Blooms designer series paper, and I used the envelope liner framelits just to give it a finished look. I think that really makes it really sweet and custom. I think to receive an envelope in the mail with a stamped image is just so fun, because you know something special on the inside. So ladies, give this technique a shot. It's super simple. Like I said, I just utilized the Lotus Blossom stamp set that you will earn free if you spend $50 or more. You do just have till the end of this month. And also be sure to check out my blog yesterday, the post yesterday, because there's 4 new items that are available for just this month only. And then I used the Stacked with Love designer washi tape, which you can find in the Occasions catalog. So if you have any questions, comment below or reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks, ladies. Have a great day. Bye.